Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back again. Eddie Cheddar here. And with the Eddie Cheddar and Hip Hop and Topic Show. Today I'm going to teach you guys the types of hats that I own and what's their purpose. And I guess I got one that's kind of out of the film, but let me just go get it. Just so that way I can explain it. It's actually my change hat. Yeah, I turned it into like a change holder because these things are really strong. But back to the subject at hand. So today we're going to talk about different kind of hats, styles, what they can do, versatility to them, all that. And I just got some random hats laying here, and I'm going to explain each one in detail. If you don't know, I've been making new videos about hats. This is the hats that I have in my house. There are more, but like I said, it's really hard to get all the hats I own in one photo. It's not as easy as it seems. And these are actually all the jerseys and shirts that go with each of these hats. Some of them can be interchangeable and combined. And it's pretty cool. It's my favorite hobby. I don't think I'm ever going to give it up. And it's a cheap hobby too. Especially if you're not too picky about what you want. Hats can actually be a very fun hobby, whether you're a girl or a guy. An old man or an old woman, teenager or just a kid down the block. I have always loved hats since the beginning of time. But back to the subject at hand. So these are the hats that I have, style wise, and I'll tell you what demographic would wear them, what kind of variations they can come in, and all the details I can give you about each one, and even kind of what I might wear them for myself. And we're going to start off with the most common of them all is duckbills. Duckbills have been around longer than any of our relatives. Probably our first set of relatives that lived in modern society had duckbills just like these two. And if not, this is not really entirely a duckbill. This is actually more like a high mark bent brim. But I like this. I just bought this one today. And like always, I'm going to tell you kind of a secret about owning hats that I really wish people would follow. Remove the goddamn tags and stickers. Like, you can keep the tags that are actually original to the hat. But it's like, the sticker shit, take that shit off, please. You will get a ring because when you first buy a hat, when you remove the sticker, you have a very light dusting ring. And if you use this stuff here and spray from a distance lightly, and then use the said brush from the previous video, I mean, look at how clean some of these hats are when you don't have the tag. There's no ring. There's no marks. And they still look nice. I just don't get why people do that. I think it was like a hood thing. But back to the duckbills. Most common hat, most obvious hat. This is a duckbill dad hat. Now, reason why I got dad hats is because at Lids, they sell them for very cheap because nobody was buying them for the price they wanted to sell them at. And what I like about dad hats is that they're comfy, they give you the friendly dad vibe with chicks. And they also make them very nice, especially this one. This is a new era. Not the best designs for these kinds, the strapbacks, which I'll explain in the next part of this segment of the video. But what I like about them is that they're really nice. So duckbills, most common hat of all time, and easily one to pick. Now high mark slash kind of half bent, half duck. This is kind of like a middle ground. I actually just bought this. This is my first one. And I'll be honest, I love the way this looks. This is a Mitchell & Ness. Usually I wouldn't pick them for baseball, but this just looks so right, and it feels even better. I actually might wear it tomorrow for when I go to work. in the morning. I actually might wear that tomorrow and cop that around. I love it. These are easily a new type of style. They have been around for a while, but in the hip hop community, I really only saw like the West Coast guys wear these, and the guys that lived in like the northwestern part of the states, kind of the northwest, like Washington, Oregon. I saw some guys wear these. Even the Japanese, they wear them too, and I love it. This is a great style. I wish they had a Dodger one for the same price that they got this Yankee one for, but oh well. Next is flat bills. Now these are the cream of the crop for me. These are the most iconic things you'll ever see me wear. And as you can see, there are 3 of them here, 4 if you count the fitted one. And I love them. They got the coolest designs. They've always been a staple for me. The people that I've seen wear them are just anybody and everybody. Skateboarders, athletes, hip hop and entertainers, baseball players, anybody you can think of wears them, but not really girls. Girls don't really wear them, and girls will actually wear these over these. So just remember that they prefer something like this and this over that, and really this realm is like their mid ground. Like they'll maybe wear these, but not so much as like this. And the demographic that does wear the flat bills and these is, dads, kids. Everybody's at least worn a duckbill sometime in their life, but mostly dads and boys and guys, workers, people that actually do, blue collar stuff. I see a lot of blue collar people wear hats exactly like these 2 right here. These ones are more for like entertainers, more like a dressy kind of look. Girls will wear these just because they're more of like the clout look. They'll wear the dad ones too, but they are more into this kind of style than that kind of style. Just by looking at what I see out in the real world. But flat bill duckbills, they are the cream of the crop, and as you can see, they dominate my wall by far. And there are so many different styles that I actually really like them, and I'll still collect them until the day I die. I don't care. I love them. Love them. And they come in all these different looks and shapes and styles. Definitely worth it. Now, this hat. This is just as universal as that. As the duckbills. These, if you put these 2 together, these are what the dominant, most worn type of hats you'll ever see girls and guys wear willingly. And especially women. Women love these kind of hats. They'll wear them because it doesn't mess up their hair. It doesn't dig into their scalp. Because I'll be honest, these things have bands and adjustments. They're gonna like stick to you pretty violently. This kind of softly goes to your head. It doesn't have a band, but usually these type of hats don't get discolored. So it's like you can keep their color and shape for a lot longer. Versus like a duckbill or a dad hat or a mid dad hat or a flat bill. I also will admit this just right off the bat. I wear these kind of hats when I'm asleep. This would be like my sleeping cap, even though this one isn't. This one goes with the new outfit I got for my Glock collection. I got a whole bunch of Glock clothes on Temu, and I saw this one and I saw it was only for $1, so I got it, and I absolutely love it. These are mostly worn by everybody. Kids, guys, workers, everybody. So this is a universally loved style of hat. And especially if you live up here in the cold Midwest, like where I live, way up in the dark north, this is the most common shit you'll see, especially as it gets nastier and nastier. And we're reaching that point. Next would be bucket hats. Now, when I lived in Florida, I wore these more, and I still wore my flat bills too, but as I got more into the sunshine state, I started wearing these. And I like them because they're really comfy. I don't much care for the ones with the straps. I like mine strapless like this one. It has no straps. I can just put it on and just go. No adjustment, no thing hanging past my titty line. So You know, I kind of like that. And the people I see wear it are girls and guys. Girls and guys will universally wear this. It's mostly known as a fisherman hat, so you see a lot of fishermen guys wear it, and they have their hooks and their baits kind of hooked into the hat, kind of like what you used to see in the movies. And I like them. They're very comfy. If you get ones in like nice styles, I have a few of them up there, but they're kind of tucked. I use them like wedges to keep the bills from rubbing up against my wall on my paint. But I like them. They're pretty comfy. And next would be golf hats. Golf hats are kind of a new thing for me. I never thought they were actually a thing. This is a golf hat that I got in about like a year before Argentina won the World Cup. And I got that because I used to have an Argentina jersey. They are my favorite football team worldwide, next to Brazil. Those two are my favorite, and probably Japan because, well, I'm a JDM freak. What I like about them is that you get this little strap here, this little band, but they also come, this one doesn't come with it, but oh no, there it is. It's just a lot bigger. They come with this sweatband that actually keeps the water from coming in or going out onto the main part of the bill. And this is what I love about them. They're very unique. They're very classy. They're something you can maybe wear out to, you know, nice gatherings, weddings, funerals, whatever, or like little high-class club meetings. I don't really see a lot of girls wear these. I see a lot of dudes. Grown dudes going to the golf course, or grown dudes that are just going to their country club meetings, but they don't want to have their ugly hairdos be exposed. So they'll wear something like this. I got my best friend a Vikings one of this, and he loved it. I didn't know it had all these special features, and I might be collecting these, you know, because they're at Lids today. I saw they were at like $15. Combine that with my discount, it goes down to 10. So I can get a lot of these just off that alone. So I might start collecting those because I always go after which trend isn't selling that I can get for the low. I can make it look nice and just roll with it. Now, here's a little bonus thing, and this will just be something that I can say just off the rip, just for fun. This hat I brought down not because it was any different from the style wise there. I got this one because this one actually has a bottle cap opener. And what I love about it is it's actually functionable. This is the only hat I have that has a functionable ability. And believe it or not, I barely wear this hat because I still haven't found the shirt to match it. I mostly wear it with like a gray or red or a mixed, but this hat has the coolest utility usage of all time. I can literally just wear this and put like a bottle cap over my head. In the South, where I was born, people did this with their regular hats and they didn't have a bottle cap opener on there. They just used their bill and twisted the caps off. But the fact that I could just put it up there and pop it, that's actually pretty fucking cool. So, yeah. Next, I'm gonna bring down one hat that I was trying to find earlier today, and I couldn't find it here. It's actually a very unique hat as far as what it can do. Oh, well, there's one that's kind of like it, but not exactly what I would like to show in a video. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Right here. This is a little bit better. So next I'm going to tell you the type of hats and what they can do. So first we're going to start off with the dad hat, but this one, the reason why we're going to start with this one is that this is a strap back. I actually have 3 different types of strap backs here, and I will show you what are the difference with them. Now, strap backs are really not meant for newcomers into the hat world. Reason why is you cannot wear these daily, And if you break them, they're done. You killed the hat. There's no way of saving it. Now, it's not very hard to break them, but it's like you don't want to wear these too often, because when you do wear them down, they will break. I mean, here is the oldest strap back that I have currently on me that's within my possession. Like I said, there are probably older ones I have in my storage unit that have seen better days. Some of them are broke, some of them are still alive, but I have to wear them gracefully. Is these things come with a belt, so it's literally like a waist belt for your hat. And as you can see, you tuck the end side of the belt into the back side of the hat, and then part of this is either stapled or glued in there. So if it's glued in there and you wear it down, you basically killed the hat, and now it won't last. If it's stapled in there, then you could maybe get away with it for a little while. As you can see, there's the metal wearing onto my strap, so it's starting to show its age. The metal is getting old, it's getting worn. It still does its job as it should, but you can tell I'm not going to be wearing this thing too often. And yeah, I love this hat. It's very old. I got this when I was I'd say 17, 16 years old. Really old hat. But it's a 47, old school, back when they were a really good company before they kind of went corporate. So this is made in Vietnam, Taiwan, and I love the way these feel. And then you got the wild style belt style, which is a little bit different, like kind of a aggressive belt with just drilled holes. Like I said before, they could either be stapled in or glued in. And what I like about these is that Jay-Z used to wear them. Nas wore them. A lot of the East Coast guys, LL Cool J wore them too in music videos. And they were very unique, and they'd have, leather bills instead of like typical cloth, but they'd also have cloth ones. They'd also make dad hat ones that were just typical style stitch belts, which these ones are actually stitched in the weave. So these are the ones that'll last forever. But like I said, if you get something like this, they're not meant for newcomer enthusiasts, because you'll learn your lesson the hard way, just like how I did. And that's all I can tell you about it. Next are Velcro strap backs. So unlike the regular strap backs or the belt strap backs, these are just what everybody wears, or everybody has worn. Velcro is pretty easy to know. It's like Velcro. It comes off easy. You can just stick it back or put it back into form. And I like them because if I don't want to wear my nicer stuff, this is a good option. And they technically can be just a lot cheaper than some of these other options here. Because as you go into snapbacks and fitteds, and even just special edition like bucket caps, they start getting really, really costly. This is more of an ergonomic utility use, and Velcros can last a very long time, and you can actually use these over and over again. Now, Velcro can wear out, but you'll be old before that ever happens, and I don't think that's really much of a big deal. Next is snapbacks. The cream of the crop, what I wear the most and what I love the most. Now, snapbacks can be put into several different categories, and I'll actually go into the next segment about which brands to buy, which brands not to buy, which ones are good for beginners, which ones are not. But anyway, snapbacks are my favorite because as my hair grows, so does my head. So I need to adjust to this every time. In the wintertime, especially up here in the North Minnesota weather, it's a bitch. But you also shouldn't be changing the snaps in frozen weather. I'll tell you more on why that in another video. But snapbacks are my favorite. They practically dominate my wall, and they're the only things I wear. I love them because you can adjust it according to how your head size is. You can put them in inserts if you take care of them and don't abuse the shit out of them. Snapbacks could actually be meant for any age, but I really think if you want to be a good enthusiast to your hats, a snapback should be more of something for, I'd say, upper teenagers, like 18, 17 at the lowest, all the way up to an old man, because you'll start to realize how to treat these things if you want them to last a lot longer. And of course, then we got beanies, beanie caps, universally loved by everybody and worn by everybody. Not much to them. You put them over your head and you don't even think about it. And then next is a very strange one. So this one used to be a size flex fit, or not a flex fit, a size fitted, adjustable size fitted. So this was my high school hat that I got back in like the 11th to 12th grade. It's seen better days, and it's a small. They had small, medium, and large, and then they had extra large. These technically just fit to your head, almost like a beanie, but a little bit tighter, and it's not as comfy. The band is a flex band. This band actually is kind of like a flex fit, so it will adjust to your head, and these fibers here naturally will just grip to the side of your head versus what a fitted would do, where the size is just stuck the way it is. If you don't fit the head, you just don't get to wear the hat. This one, if your head's even just a little bit bigger, this thing will stretch and adjust. And that's what I like about flex fits. I used to have a Rockstar one when I was like a teenager at the Dub Automotive Show. I really wish I could have that Rockstar Energy hat back. It was one of my favorite flex fits. And what I love about these flex fits is that they're really durable, and they're really nice. They're kind of actually perfect for girls too, because they don't bite into your scalp. They'll just form to your head and you can just wear them. So yeah, flex fits, adjustable flex fitteds are very nice. I like it. This one was from Vietnam when I used to work at the hospital. They gave me these flex fitted hats and I love them. And they're like almost, I'd call them the gym shorts of headwear. They'll just fit right to you. And that's what I wish more of these were like. But when we're about to talk about fitteds, trust me, the only ones I see in flex fitteds, I mean, are these. But I like these though. If this was a flex fitted, I think I would still buy this. But I bought it mostly because it's a snapback, and your boy loves snapbacks. He's addicted to snapbacks. Anyway, now we can go on to fitteds. Fitteds are the hardest as far as flexibility, adjustability, and just overall, I think fitteds are more for the truest of the true enthusiast. And I can say that with honesty because for the longest time I wore fitteds for about like 3 or 4 years once I started getting into hats. But then as I got older, I started to realize I don't have time to always think about my size. I was working out of town some days. I was always gone on the road every now and then, and I really just didn't have the fucking time to remember this. And they're always different too. And I can tell you a caveat about fitteds. The European sizes are not the same as the American sizes. So if you go overseas to go get your fitted and you put in the same size you have in American, it's not going to work. I learned that the hard way, and it pissed me off to no end, and that was when I stopped getting fitteds and started going to snapbacks and strapbacks and bucket head hats and flex fits, because I was getting really tired of just it in general, and I hated it. Fitteds are definitely a truer enthusiast. You really have to be airtight, or you gotta always go to the same store and know the same types. Now, I use this fitted, and this fitted was from when I was 8 years old. I turned this fitted hat into my change bucket. And it's durable. This thing is almost 18, 20, 23 years old. Hat still could be worn, actually, even though all of its coloration has been disappeared from sun damage, sweat, and all that other crap, but I like it, and it's just a personal thing for me. Another hat I forgot to mention in the description hat are these back netted hats. Now, these are what people like to call trucker hats or naked hats or hairnet lady hats, is what my little brother likes to call it. Freaking dipwad. Now, I do not wear these. This was from a previous employer who thou shall not be named. But I don't really like these because you can't customize them like what I do with, hats like this where I can put a side patch on or some back stitching. You can't do that with netted. It's actually very hard, and if you do sweat through the netted and it gets onto the patch, it can discolor the crap out of these things. And I don't much care for it. The demographic that wears these, truckers and people that just don't care what the back of their head looks like. Now, next we're going to talk about our typical brands, or brands that I know that have certain reputations to them. And I don't have all the brands right in front of me, because one of them, when I can just go grab one. Now let's grab this Zephyr here. This Zephyr is one that definitely needs a discussion. But no, there's a Zephyr right there. But oh well, we got two of them. So branding wise, I will tell you that Fitteds have the best design branding wise. New Era Fitteds are just the meanest of the mean, the cleanest of the clean. Nothing beats a clean fitted. It's pretty hard to beat, and I will not lie, that's the one jealousy that I have about not being in that camp. But I have my reasons, and I'm sticking to my guns, so I ain't even going to get into that. But branding overall is basically just picking the right hat that will last and that will do what you need it to do, which is cover your head and look good while you're covering your head or blocking out the sun. New Era is instantly my favorite. I think that if you are a new enthusiast and you want to get into hat collecting, New Era is where you should be for flat bills, dad hats, anything, even beanies and flex fits. New Era is the perfect company, and I do love their work, and there's a reason why they dominate the hat wall. Them and Mitchell and Ness just dominate the wall to death. I like them a lot, and they're definitely the best hat for new enthusiasts. They are definitely the best style and reliability. They're kind of the Toyota and Lexus of hat world. They can just look nice and they last long. And sometimes they can look boring, but they can also last really long. I mean, look at that one over there. She's been beaten to hell and she can still be worn. If I took out all that change, shrunk my head about an inch, I can still wear that and be okay. The band is still alive, even though it's greasy. Next brand is 47. Now, 47, they're the king of dad hats. As much as I like this New Era, 47 makes a lot more of a cleaner design. The depth of the threads are way more pop out, just like this New Era, but with like more detail. Like I like this attention to the TC over there versus just the ball. This is still good, but 47 dad hats are just, you can't argue that they don't look good. Like that's a dress hat that I'd wear to a function. And what I like about them is that their strap backs and their Velcro backs are good. Now, when they started to get into flat bills and flex fitteds, that was where I started to have a problem because they were unreliable, they broke, or the band started to wear prematurely. I wasn't too much of a fan of them. They have improved from when I was a kid, but I still have my own caveats against them for my personal reasons. Next is Mitchell & Ness. Now this is how you get pretty much the same kind of quality as New Era. Style like 47 dad hats. And just baller finish, reliability, it's just insane. Especially if Mitchell & Ness is more worn by brothers and people that like style over just basics like style. And what I like about them is their snapbacks don't break. It's very hard. Just like New Era snapbacks and strapbacks, they don't break. They keep going. And I love that. I think just the styles of them alone are more cleaner. The finish to the band is more cleaner. The bottom brim and the bill, just they make them to such good craft. In fact, it's really hard for me to choose between getting a New Era or Mitchell & Ness because I have old Mitchell & Nesses from 8, 10, 12, 14 years ago, just like how I have with the New Era. And that's kind of how it goes. These are the two dogs among dogs, is New Era and Mitchell & Ness. They really are kind of the better for the beginner enthusiast. 47, they can be gone for a beginner, but I think you kind of would have to stick to the dad hats and the higher quality stuff. Don't buy their snapbacks. They're really bad. But if you really want to go for a company that doesn't know how to make snapback to save their life, Zephyr. Now, their hockey hats are lit design-wise. This one actually is hieroglyphic and it glows in the dark. Like it will shine under light and reflection, and I like it. And I got it for my Winnipeg Jets outfit. But what I will say is that the snapback on this thing has seen better days, and it is starting to break. Unlike the New Era and the Mitchell & Nesses here that I have, that can stand the test of time of me wearing them, Zephyrs can't. You kind of have to be very, very careful. I have a couple of Zephyrs that have made it, but I've been very skeptical about putting them through their paces anymore because I had a lot of broken Zephyrs on there, including a wild one that I loved a lot, but I was pissed that I broke it. And as far as that goes, FlexFit's their own company. There are a few other companies that I do have, but none of them are extremely popular. And as you start to see, off-brand type hats, you kind of have to pick what you think is going to last, how you're going to use things. My advice as a hat enthusiast, just all in all, is pick stuff that will work for you, not you working for it. If you don't live a life where you pay attention to everything, just go with New Era and Mitchell & Ness because they can last longer. They're the easiest to clean. They're the easiest to maintain. And they can last a very long time. If you want to get into more certain design or you're just into more aesthetic, you can do a 47 or 7 and just roll with that. There's another brand that I know that I can't really think about, but I know just for a fact that 47 is definitely more of a divine type taste, and you really kind of have to go at it at a pace. They can last now if you get the right kinds. I say if you're going to get a 47, don't go back under 2012. 2012 and under, that was when they had a lot of issues, and their snapbacks, flat bills are awful. And they look awful too. They look kind of like Mickey Mouse glove balloons blown up. But this was when 47 was in its prime. This is when they were really good, old school. And I guess just say don't buy any 47 flat bill snapback past 2012. This is a strapback back in like early 2009, so a little bit old. But I can tell you just from a hat enthusiast point, Mitchell & Ness and New Era is where you need to stay. That's the sweet spot. And if you're going to get a Zephyr, all I got to say is you better be real good at hat care, because I have 2 examples of what happens when you don't take care of Zephyrs. When you don't take care of Zephyrs very well, they will break. Even like this fray is starting to come off. They do not hold their value. They break. And they're supposed to be an American company, which often bothers the shit out of me. So wait, this is supposed to be American, but this thing could not last as long as my Mitchell and Ness and New Era, which are also kind of American companies, but they outsource. But these Zephyrs are supposed to be built and stitched here in the great old USA, and these things break like fucking 3.1 Chevy engines. It's kind of sad. But yeah, these are the type of hats, the people that wear them. I know this video was long, but hey, at least I freaking did it. And yeah, we'll try to make a cleaning tutorial next weekend because I'm going to be busy working on the Land Cruiser. Anyway, I'm out. This is Eddie Cheddar. Peace.